Good morning, folks, from beautiful Bristol, Tennessee. Actually, I'm not sure if I'm standing on the Tennessee or Virginia side right now, but it's all beautiful. Beautiful morning here. I was able to walk from where I'm staying to pick up a coffee here in town. Now I'm standing just outside the Bristol Public Library, I suppose. I wanted to make sure this morning I had the chance to give y'all my Xfinity Series Championship 4 picks before they kick off their playoffs tonight, Friday night on the CW. And then, also happening this weekend, Saturday night, the Cup Series has their first playoff elimination race. So we're bringing back an old out-of-the-groove classic, the advancometer, where I will rate how likely each playoff driver is of getting through this first round, at least. But let's start with the NASCAR Xfinity Series. The story all summer long has been Connor Zilisch. If we include that Daytona co-win, he's won 8 of the last 14 Xfinity races, an average finish of 1.9 in that span. He enters the playoffs with a 59-point cushion, essentially a full points race, stages in all advantage over the cut line. Justin Allgaier, his teammate, not too far behind, and then it's a huge drop off to 3rd, 4th, 5th on back. Austin Hill starts the playoffs with 0 playoff points as a result of that suspension for wrecking Eric Almirola at Indianapolis a few weeks back. I'm not going to go round by round like I did for the Cup Series. I just wanted to put on record my Championship 4 picks, see if we align. Connor Zilisch, first and foremost, he is going to make the Championship 4, has such a significant advantage, is on such a roll right now. Marty Lindley has that entire number 88 team firing on all cylinders. He's got the most wins, the most laps led, the most top 5s, and if something does go wrong these next couple of weeks, he's got the Charlotte Roval at the end of this first round as a backup plan. I look at the round of 8, yes, Talladega looms. Connor Zilisch injured his back in a crash at Dega earlier this year, but he was leading the race when he got spun and hit the wall. Martinsville is in that round of 8. Zilisch started on pole, led 100 laps there in the spring. He's going to Martinsville for the second time. He'll go to Las Vegas for the second time. Young kid, learning quickly. I expect big things from Connor Zilisch, so Zilisch will make the Championship 4, as will Justin Allgaier, the veteran of the group. He's been to 7 Championship 4s already, won it all for the first time last year. I think he gets number 8 in 2025. I will say, tonight's race at Bristol is an important benchmark. Last 12 races for Allgaier have been up and down. He only has 5 top 10s and 2 top 5s the last 12 Xfinity races. Those aren't terrible numbers. Those will get you through this first round, but those aren't Championship 4 quality numbers. I trust Allgaier and Junior Motorsports to find a way to get it done. They almost always do. And y'all know I like stage points. Justin Allgaier leads the Xfinity Series most stage points earned all season. Those can be very important come playoff time. My third spot, I thought this would be a hot take, but after scanning social media the past few days, I'm not sure that it is, but I've got Austin Hill making the Championship 4 despite beginning the playoffs at such a significant disadvantage. Even with that penalty, he's only 5 points out to start this first round. He's got 3 wins this year. I think RCR's Xfinity equipment is good enough. He'll get through the first round without too much issue. And if he does that, yeah, he'll probably be at another points deficit in the round of 8, but those tracks line up great for Austin Hill. He has 6 straight top 10s at Las Vegas. Then we know how dominant RCR has been at Talladega, although they showed some cracks in their armor at Daytona a few weeks ago, I will say that. And then Martinsville, he won there in the spring, bully balled his way to the front amidst the chaos. Despite the points deficit, Austin Hill is oozing confidence this weekend at Bristol Motor Speedway. I think he makes a Championship 4 run, which means I have just 1 spot left, and I was torn. I was split between really 3 different drivers. There's a lot of great drivers here, like Harrison Burton. What a story. Lost his Cup Series ride, goes to an AM racing team that struggled, had no identity last year, and gets him in the playoffs. Sheldon Creed has never been to the Championship 4, but he's in a good car. He's really good at Martinsville, that final race of the round of 8. Watch out. Carson Kvapil has been solid this year for a rookie. I'd say Taylor Gray as well. Nick Sanchez has actually, I think, punched above his weight class this year. Got that win at Atlanta earlier this summer. I'm just not sure Big Machine Racing is going to have the firepower to keep up with the JRM, RCR, JGR trio. So it comes down for me to Sam Mayer, Jesse Love, and Brandon Jones. A couple of young guys who've been around for a couple of years at least. And then Brandon Jones, the journeyman Xfinity Series vet. They each have 1 win this year. Sam Mayer has the most top 5s, but Brandon Jones has the fewest DNFs. And as you can see, they're separated by only 3 playoff points coming in. Man, Toyota was shut out of last year's Xfinity Series Championship for I think it happens again. I like Brandon Jones. I don't love Brandon Jones. The question is, will Chevrolet lock down all 4 spots, or can Haas and Ford in their final season together get one of those spots with Sam Mayer? I'm going with give me Jesse Love. I know, maybe it's boring, maybe it's basic. Give me an all JRM, all RCR, half and half turf war at Phoenix. That's what I'm feeling right now. I got to give Sam Mayer the credit he deserves. The knock against Mayer the last few years, he's found ways to win races, but he's been very inconsistent. That's not been the case this year. Really solid average finish. Qualifying lately, he's been awesome. Top 5 almost every week. But Jesse Love lately has been getting the better finishes. Haas, Ford going their separate ways at year's end. Will that trickle in and impact their end of year performance? We'll see. Give me Jesse Love, Austin Hill, Justin Allgaier, and Connor Zilisch. That's my championship 4 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. I'm not ready to make a championship prediction. I'll save that for later. I feel like it'll be Zilisch or Allgaier. Allgaier, the vet, been there, done that, great at Phoenix, but Connor Zilisch has all the momentum. We'll see here in about 8 weeks or so. Let me know if you agree. Love, Hill, Allgaier, Zilisch, those are my 4. But now let's talk Cup Series real quick before I head back in, because that morning, Bristol, Tennessee sun, I guess it's coming from, I might be coming from Virginia. It's brutal this morning. I forgot to put my sunscreen on. I am pasty pale as a ghost. I burn easily. So let's put the Cup Series playoff bubble drivers on the infamous advancometer. What was it? Dr. Doofenshmirtz always had an innator, the cheese innator, the evil innator. I like meters, I like scales, the groovy gauge. Give me the advancometer. Okay, it's self-explanatory, but we're gonna look at the playoff bubble. We'll start really simple. Bubba Wallace has a 50-point advantage, just needs to protect that at Bristol this Saturday night. I give him a 10 out of 10. He will. There is no way Bubba Wallace is getting eliminated. He's been so solid to start these playoffs. I see that continuing. Bubba Wallace will advance to the round of 12. I give Ryan Blaney plus 42 points a great shot as well. 7 top 10 finishes the last 8 weeks. I give Ryan Blaney I'll give him a 9 out of 10. 8 points less than Bubba. Okay, I'll give him a 9 out of 10. I'm almost certain Ryan Blaney will advance, but shoot, after getting spun again last week by someone else, I guess I can never be entirely sure if Ryan Blaney controls his own destiny. William Byron, the regular season points leader, has gone 4 weeks now without a top 10 finish, but he still has a 39-point cushion that he earned because of his regular season success. I still feel good Byron will make it. I'll give him an 8 out of 10 on the advancometer. Wild William Byron fact, however, he has never led a single lap at Bristol Motor Speedway. Tyler Reddick, similar spot, plus 37. I'll give him an 8 on the advancometer as well. Christopher Bell is an interesting one, plus 32 points. Solid cushion, good productive points day at Gateway, but as we discussed on the show this week, that wasn't good enough for Bell. He thought they should have won, should have battled for the win with their teammates, but strategy didn't go their way. Bell blew up on his crew chief over the radio. I'll give Christopher Bell a 7. He's been so good at Bristol the last few years, has a 6.0 average finish at Bristol since 2022, but that blow up last week, what's the team morale like? Can Adam Stevens whip everyone into shape, get everyone on the same page? I think the speed is there to advance is the focus there. That's why I'll give Bell just a 7. While I'll give Chase Elliott, who's actually slightly closer to the cut line, I'll give Chase Elliott a 9. I feel really good because what does Chase Elliott need to do Saturday night? He just needs a clean race. Top 20 finish, and he's good. That's what Chase Elliott does. He's finished top 20 in 26 out of 28 races this year. That's what he does. Very cool, calm, consistent. That's what he needs to get through this first round. He's finished top 10 in 4 of the last 5 Bristol races. It's a good track for him. Yeah, Chase Elliott, I'm very confident. Even though he's only plus 28, very confident Chase Elliott moves on. Much less confident in Joey Logano. Plus 21 points, defending champ. We know he's great in the playoffs, but this race bit him 2 years ago. He got caught up in a crash, wasn't running very well before then, and was eliminated. Remember, in 2023, Joey Logano became the first and still the only driver, the only defending champion to be eliminated in the round of 16. I think Logano will get through Bristol. I'll give him a 7. I'm confident he's probably going to advance, but he has never finished top 20 at Bristol in the next-gen era. That's 5 races, 5 poor finishes. I looked this up. In those last 5 races, Joey Logano averages 11 points earned at Bristol, which means if someone like an Austin Dillon earns 30 something, runs top 10, maybe gets some stage points, suddenly Joey Logano could be in trouble if he doesn't reverse this alarming Bristol trend he's been on. Ross Chastain is plus 19. I'll give him a 7 as well. I don't buy Trackhouse's speed, although Chastain has qualified well to start the playoffs. That's been a nice change of fortune. He's been really good at Bristol, though. Really good results here in the Gen 7 car. I mentioned Logano averages 11 points per Bristol race. Chastain averages nearly 28 points per Bristol race. So I feel good about Ross. Originally, I had him out in the first round, but they've done a good job not shooting themselves in the foot these last 2 weeks. Ross Chastain should get through. Now it gets spicy. Austin Cindric is plus 11, has never finished top 10 at Bristol in his still fairly short NASCAR Cup Series career. He's qualified outside the top 20 in the last 4 Bristol races. Last year, he entered this race in a similar position. He was near the cut line, wasn't quite this close, but was in that range and ran a solid night race. Finished 13th, was able to move on. I'll give Austin Cindric a 6. Gateway was concerning. Very different track than Bristol, but that was supposed to be where Penske performs. His teammates did pretty well. Cindric was nowhere really to be seen. So if any of those Penske guys are going to fall off Saturday night, it's likely going to be Cindric. I'll still give him a 6, but Austin Dillon is nipping at his heels. I mentioned Byron earlier. How about an even crazier stat? In 20 career Bristol starts, Austin Dillon has still not led a single lap. That is thousands of laps turned at the last Great Coliseum. He's never been out front. That's bad news. The good news, though, for Austin Dillon fans, he ran 10th in this race 1 year ago. I keep talking about average points earned. He averages about 3 more points per Bristol race than Austin Cindric, who he's fighting for that final spot. So he'll need an 11 or 12 point advantage, but that trending the right direction. I'll give him a 4. He's at a deficit. I don't think anyone really believes in Richard Childress Racing right now, but Austin Dillon is good at conserving tires, and all the conversation this weekend about that new right side tire that hasn't been tested, if that tire wears out, if tires become the huge variable they've been here in the past, that is an advantage for Austin Dillon, who won Richmond a few weeks ago, another tire wear, tire strategy type race. Now we have a pretty big drop off. Shane Van Gisbergen is only 15 points below the cut line, but I'm giving him a very small chance. I'll give him a 2, and maybe that's being generous. He has 1 cup start here, finished last. Qualified last. I mean, he had, I think, a mechanical issue that knocked him out, but he wasn't running very well before then. He ran okay here last year in his Xfinity Series debut, so there's a chance he could grind out a top 20, and if that happens and Cindric wrecks early, okay. SVG, there might be a path into the round of 12, but I think it's very unlikely. Alex Bowman, 35 points out, should have no chance, right? He basically needs to win, right? Has 1 win in the last 3.5 years, and it was a darkness-shortened road course win. There's no chance, right? Right? Hey, if you watched my show yesterday with Ryan Stevens, Win the Race analytical expert, he says, hey, this race shapes up nicely for Bowman. He's won the pole, back-to-back Bristol races. He's led laps in both, and he mentioned it. In the spring race here, different tire, we know, slightly different weather conditions. He was running top 5 when the engine failed on him. Odds are the engine won't fail on him 2 straight Bristol races, so Bowman could be in a position to strike tomorrow night. For that reason, I'll give him a 2 on the advancometer. Maybe a 2.5, okay? If all Alex Bowman had to do was run 8th tomorrow night, I'd give him like a 7. I'd be like, yeah, Alex Bowman, top 10, Bristol, I'd bet on that, but he needs a top 5 and some luck, or he needs a win. Luck, Bowman, haven't always gone in the same sentence before unless you use the word bad in front. I'm giving him a 2, let's say a 2.5. A sporting half point there for Alex Bowman fans. Wrapping things up with Josh Berry, 45 points out. I think he's only made it 45 laps into these playoffs thus far. I'm tempted to give him a 0, but I'll give him a 1 because he is a great short track racer. And similar to what I said about Austin Dillon, if this becomes a tire management race, that could play into Josh Berry's late model experience, recent late model experience. Last year in the spring race with Stuart Haas, he led some laps. So Berry knows how to get around Bristol. If this race becomes chaotic, that would play to his strengths, but he's going to need to win. A top 5 does him little to no good. He needs to win. Hasn't won since Las Vegas in March. It's been a rocky summer stretch. I'll give Josh Berry a 1. It would be disingenuous to say he has absolutely no chance, but I think the odds are slim. Even when they run okay, they run decent, something seems to go wrong. So there we go. The advancometer, out of the groove advancometer, is back. I've guzzled my coffee. Caffeinated, ready to rock and roll. Long weekend ahead. I will see you later today during the Xfinity Series race, and then you'll see me late Saturday night, probably early Sunday morning, post-race Bristol. But follow along on Twitter, X, at EricEstep17 for my weekend-long, real-time coverage. Thanks for tuning in, folks. I will talk to you again soon. Have a great rest of your week.